Hello, hello. Welcome to video number 6 on the 6 skills of the selling system. You know those numbers are the same, but we had a welcome video. But we are almost done with the series. Can you believe it? It's gone by so fast. I am delighted that you have returned for the next installment. This video is going to be all about follow-up. This is probably my favorite. This is probably the one I'm the best at. And tonight should be pretty super quick because this is easy to talk about. But for those of you who may have forgotten, my name is Heather Pratt. And again, we are so excited that you are here. And yes, I tend to speak in the plural because this is mine and my husband's business, even though I do most of the face work. All right, let's jump right in. So we're not wasting any time, and let's talk about follow-up. This is the 5th skill on your 6 skills. So we have covered prospecting, so that's paying attention to the world around you and the people around you, listening to them. We talked about booking, which is all about asking for the party. This is all in the realm of the party atmosphere. We are a party playing business, although you can use these skills in lots of different ways throughout your business and for a variety of different styles of party. So after we listened, we asked and we got something booked. Then we did some hostess coaching, and then last night we got ready to present, right? Or in the previous video, I guess I shouldn't say last night. Maybe you're watching this all at once. So now we're going to talk about follow-up. After the party ends, your job isn't done. This module is going to talk about following up and why it's so important to your business. As a Scentsy consultant, you should strive to build relationships with your customers, your hosts, and your team members. Honestly, relationships are by far my favorite part of this business. Remember Scentsy's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. We create authentic experiences for our customers. We keep these experiences simple and make them easy for our hosts to replicate. We are generous with our customers, hosts, and teams, and gladly share our time and resources. Following up with customers and hosts is how we build those meaningful relationships. Making the effort to really get to know someone will benefit you every time. Not only do you gain a new friendship, but knowing your customer, host, or prospective teammate allows you to serve them better. Following up takes preparation, practice, and consistency. That last part's key. It doesn't just happen magically. So let's focus on preparation first, since that's always where we begin. And it begins with gathering comprehensive information. I meant to grab one of these and I forgot, so you can see my shirt for just a split second. Well, maybe more than that. All right, so collecting comprehensive information is essential. Not only how you'll connect with them and follow up after a party, but it's also how you expand your network, get bookings, and build your team. So how do you get that information and what do you do with it? A lot of consultants will use a party game to collect phone numbers or email addresses from guests. You could even offer a small prize to the first person who sends you a text or an email during the party. I mean, everybody's got one of these in their hands, right? If you'd rather keep it simple, encourage everyone who places an order to include their complete contact info so you can reach out to them about your Scentsy products, which is why I wanted to grab an order form. I always encourage everyone to fill this part out. As a matter of fact, if you're at an in-person party, I would recommend handing these out from the get-go. And while everyone's getting settled in, go ahead and tell them to fill that part out. You know, mention it doesn't commit you to buying anything, but that's one less thing you're going to have to do later, and you can just focus on what you do want to order if you want to order, and if not, then whatever. And I usually I would tell people that either the host is going to get something extra if they fill it out completely, or give them a special something for filling it out completely. And when I say special something, I'm talking like an extra sample of something you can replicate easily and inexpensively, but give something out for everyone who completes this part of the order form. If you've got a bag party that's out, that's what I would ask them to do. Tell your host, hey, I'm going to give you an extra free bar if you turn in all of these with that top portion filled in. And maybe give her a goal of how many to bring back. And even if she brings some back, that part's filled in and that's not, I'd give her something even extra, because that's more ways to build your list. As far as doing stuff online, a lot of consultants will use a Google form from Google Drive. You can create your own form, and you just include that in your Facebook party and ask them to fill that out when they get to the party. And again, you can gift them a little sample in the mail for doing that and collect that information, because it's so important to have. Basic contact info allows you to open the door to a new relationship, create great follow-up systems, and hopefully book more parties. So I want to tell you about a cell phone game activity that you can play. And this is great because it doesn't have to be at an in-home party. It could be for an online thing as well. Everyone seems to have a smartphone or tablet. Again, I waved mine at you guys. I'm trying to, everybody has one, right? And it's usually within reach. So why not use it to help you gather information and more contacts for your business? Here's how to play. Tell guests the first person to text you with their name and email address wins a small prize. If you have a bigger group of people playing the game, tell them that the 8th person to text you wins. That way no one knows who the 8th person will be, and you'll get more contacts. That's sneaky. I like that one. And what I have been known to do, obviously my information is on catalogs, or it's something in their hands, so I'm not like calling out my phone number. I usually would start the game by saying, okay, everybody flip to such and such section, or if it's on the front or the back. I actually used to have clipboards, and I had my information up the top of the clipboard. So wherever you want to make sure your information is for it to be hot in their hands and you're not having to call out your number, it gives everybody kind of a fair shot at being first or 8th or whatever number you want to use. Remember, the whole point of the game is to get contact info from party guests so that you can use it to follow up with them. Also, be sure to add the information you get from these games to the contacts tab in your workstation. It's totally fine if someone at the party is uncomfortable sharing their information with you. No one should be forced to play the game. So if they're not comfortable with it, just shrug it off, say no problem, that's totally fine. And just keep right on trucking. Invite your new customers to join your social networks and receive your newsletter so they can be among the first to know about specials, new promotions, and other great Scentsy happenings. And you can review analytics to see who clicked on what products. Scentsy provides you with all kinds of helpful tools to manage your contact information. Use the Contacts tab on your workstation to store the info you worked so hard to get. This tab is often overlooked, but it's a tool worth using. We're going to get to that in a minute. It helps you organize your contacts, and it makes a great foundation to build a follow-up system. And let's talk about actual following up. I'm going to talk about a specific system in a minute. But before we talk about that, I'm going to pick up my handy dandy little handheld device. How many of you, oh, you can't see it. Oh, you can't see it. My screen's too dark. Let's see if I can light my screen. All right, there we go. So how many of you use the handy little Pineapple app? So that Pineapple app, that is Maven. Maven is an amazing app that is actually tied directly into your Scentsy business. If you pay for the subscription, you can try it free for 30 days. And if you pay for the subscription, it actually syncs to your workstation. So every time you add information into the workstation, it syncs up to the Maven app. And you can set up a follow-up system through the app, and the app will remind you. You saw all my little red doodads. I've got like 14 to-dos, or is it more than that now? 15 to-dos on my Maven app. So it's amazing, amazing way to work follow-up system. If you're more tech-driven, or if you want to be able to do that follow-up on the go and have it right in your hand or right in your purse without carrying anything extra around. I've been using it since it came out, and I've abandoned pretty much all of my other follow-up systems in favor of Maven. That's how much I love it. It's super, super easy to use. And you can set it up with whatever not automatic text, but the language that you want to use. You can log in there whenever you send out samples or hand out samples. Today, I met a lady at the hardware store, so as soon as I got back in the car, I put her name in there, and because it required me to put in a phone number, I actually put her first name because I didn't catch her last name, so I put her first name in there. The name of the hardware store is her last name, and the phone number to the hardware store is the phone number I put in there. But I put that contact information in my Maven app so that I wouldn't have to worry about remembering it when I got home. So if you'd like to talk more about Maven, let me know. And we have a video in the World Tour 2019 unit. It's the Donetta Dahlman video recording. She talked about follow-up, and she talked about Maven in Norman during World Tour, so you can check that out as well. But I highly recommend it. It's a business expense. I think it's like $8 a month. If you renew annually, I think it's either $70 or $80. So you get a little bit of a savings if you just pay for it for the entire year up front. But it's worth it. I mean, if you've got the money, it's a good place to spend that kind of money. But the $8 may work better for you just budgetary wise. All right, so let's talk about actual following up. It can take many forms: a phone call, an email, a text. I'm a total texter. Connecting on Facebook, or sending a handwritten thank you note. The best follow-up method is the one you're going to use consistently. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what Susie Superstar Director uses. If it's not what works for you, if it's not one that you can actively use consistently, then you need to keep trying until you find the one that works for you. We're going to talk about the 113 follow-up system in this video because it seems to be a pretty tried and true method that a lot of people use. Some people tweak it a little bit and do a 222 just because it's easier to remember than 113, and they feel more comfortable with the 222. So anytime I say 113, you can substitute the 2s in there as well. But just because the manual does the 113, I'm going to use that, but the 2s really are probably more of my style, and that's what I use in my app. So the 113 system is easy to remember and will help you master follow-up with your customers. Just remember to follow up with your customers 1 week, 1 month, and 3 months after they place an order. Or you can do 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. Or you could do 2 weeks, 2 months, and another 2 months. However, whatever floats your boat. Let's say you make a sale on Monday. Your first follow-up should happen the following Monday. The next should happen 1 month later, and the next should happen 3 months later. Add reminders in your calendar so you know exactly when to check in. Now, I will say, prior to using Maven, I used a binder system. I got the system off of Amazon. You can still see order forms in there that I do use. I got this system from Amazon. I think it was like less than $15, but it came preloaded with the stuff on the inside, all the pockets. And I used the order forms, and I would just slide the order form as I did the follow-up. And that worked really, really well for me too. I'm usually a paper and pen kind of girl, but I'm really loving that Maven app, I'll be honest. But yeah, if you're more of a paper person or you don't want to spend the money for Maven, I would recommend having something like this. Prior to this, I actually just used, I've got them all right here with handy. I just used a binder. This actually came in my starter kit because I've been around forever. But this is another version. So somebody would place an order, say I was doing a 2-month system, somebody would place an order in February, and I would deliver it in March, and I would put their order form in May. So I'd remember to follow up with them in May. So it was a one-touch system, which worked fine, but it's not as ideal as the regular touches. I think the regular touches are getting me more regular return sales between that and my VIP monthly mailers. But if all you can master at this point is touching base with them every couple of months, then by golly, that's what you do. And I promise you that is better than doing nothing. All right. So that's when to follow up. But what are you supposed to say when you do it? Let's come up with some ideas. All right, so I want you to get a sheet of paper, and I want you to make it look kind of like this. This is a 222 system. So whatever system you're going to do, make some columns. This is actually a 2-day, 2-week, and 2-month. If you want to do the 1 week, 1 month, and 3 month, that's totally fine. So now I want you to jot down some ideas for things to say whenever you're making these follow-ups. And you can just like do your columns and write underneath it good things to say. And then I want you to figure out what system you're going to use, whether it's a binder. If it's in Maven, you can actually go in the Maven app and type in what you want to say. And then when the time rolls around, it'll remind you and you send that text or messenger or email off. So you don't have to remember what you say from month to month. Maven remembers for you, which is pretty sweet. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of examples to kick things off. For your first contact, keep it simple. Just thank them for their order and invite them to reach out if they need anything. So that's really about what the first contact is about. It's really just thanking them for placing an order. A month later, ask them if they've gotten a chance to use the new products and ask if they like it and if they have any questions. So again, you're still not asking for a repurchase. You're just touching base. Thank you for ordering. Have you had a chance to use it and do you like it? And then 3 months later, ask your customer, invite your customer to your Cincy party so they can see what's new. Or you check in and see if they need some new decks, depending on how you want to do it. So maybe you have an open house coming up. Maybe you're doing an online party. Maybe you've got a new catalog. Whatever is, you know, like in March when I touch base with people, it's going to be, hey, we got a new catalog. Do you need to see it? How can I get it into your hands? And we will go from there. The follow-ups don't have to be long and complicated. The point is to stay connected and let your customer know you're thinking about them. Now, take a few minutes and brainstorm what you would want to say at each of your touches, whether you're doing the 113 system or you're doing a 222 system or you're just doing some method in between there or something that you come up with your own. So hit pause on the video and take a few minutes and come up with that verbiage. Okay, I hope you came up with some good stuff that you can use in the next few days and for the duration of your business on what to say when you're contacting somebody. Writing it down now and having that ready to go is going to be so helpful for you when you actually sit down to do it, because I know for me, in the early days of actually doing follow-up when I learned that's what I was supposed to be doing, I would get so nervous sending those text messages out. And I used to try to force myself to make phone calls until I just admitted that I'm just not a phone call person, and it was either going to be text messages or it wasn't going to get done. So I just honored myself and I went with the texting. But yeah, it was so nerve-wracking the first few times, and now I don't even think about it. So that's where I want you to be. I want you to be like, okay, we are going to do follow-up today. This is what I decided during the 6 skills training that I was going to say. It's been 2 days since that delivery. And it's, I mean, it may even be a copy and paste, because if you copy and paste, it gets done a lot faster. And you can use apps like Hit 'em Up, or I think it's called Haymarket for Android. I'm an iOS user. On Android, I think it's called Haymarket. But it's a mass app, but it doesn't, I mean, a mass text, but it doesn't look like a mass text. So that's easy. I've also done a whole lot of copy and paste too. The trick here is to create a system that works for you and use it consistently. Like every week, you need to be doing follow-up. If not every day, definitely every week. That's why that says 15. I haven't done it this week. I will do it this week. I just haven't. I usually do mine on a weekly basis, and I just haven't done that yet. I've been working on some other things. It's easy to get complacent because you may not think you have anyone to follow up with. It's also easy to get complacent if you're really busy, your calendar is full, you're booked with parties, you don't think you need to do that follow-up, or you get complacent because you don't have as much to do. Find someone to get in touch with. No matter what, you cannot afford to neglect the follow-up. It's what turns a one-time purchase into a customer for life. It's what turns a host into your next team member. Stay connected, and you won't miss those opportunities. Momentum is a huge thing in this business, and once you lose it, it can be really hard to get back. And I can attest to all of that. Okay, I told you it wasn't going to take too long on this one. Even though it's a super important topic, it's a really easy thing to do as long as you're collecting all of that information up front. And sometimes, you know, it may not even be following up about a purchase. Sometimes it's following up about just a conversation that you had about hosting or about joining. Those are follow-ups too. A lot of times we talk a lot more about following up with orders because you're wanting to make sure that they enjoy their product. But make sure as you're doing the follow-up that you're prospecting, probably with your eyes more than your ears, but you're prospecting to see what they're saying. Oh, we're really busy right now. Johnny is in softball season. Oh, does he play travel ball? Yeah, awesome. What team is he on? Fantastic. What's the record? When does season start? Whatever. But there's a lot of expense involved in travel ball. Do you guys ever do fundraisers? You do? Did you know I can do a fundraiser with you using Scentsy? There's a conversation for you to do. So good luck following up. Enjoy. And I will be back with you in the next video to talk about sponsoring. So excited. I'm super proud of you for hanging out with me this long, watching all of these videos and seeing the tops of people's heads and walk by. I know that's distracting, but that's okay. You can still hear me when you see weird things happening behind me, right? All right, well, I will see you in the next video, and we will talk about sponsoring, and then we will have one more video after that, just kind of a wrap up. And if anybody joins me live on Zoom, then we will also talk about, I'll be available for Q&A. If not, you'll just have to text me those questions, and I will answer them that way. And of course, you can do that at any point in time. I always welcome questions. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah! See you later.